Hello and welcome to Outsmart Charles. Tonight, 3 challengers from across the internet will attempt to best me in a game of trivia. But first, they'll have to compete against each other in these categories: world capitals, words that end in 8, number 2s who aren't Derek Jeter, ancient lit, the amazing race, Virginia is for Outsmart Charles contestants, devil wagons, crossing the bar, and dead white guys. Now, Jason, I believe you had the high roll on the icosahedron. Where would you like to go first?
That is still very difficult to read. Okay, let's go with world capitals. That's something I remember you saying.
Okay, let's start with world capitals. This city is the capital of our neighbors to the north.
Montreal?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Raeanne.
Toronto?
Toronto is also incorrect. Sean, do you want to ring in on this one?
Vancouver?
I'm sorry, all 3 of you are incorrect. A rather inauspicious start to the latest season of Outsmart Charles. The correct answer is Ottawa. The government of Norway is headquartered in this city.
Oslo?
That's correct.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I forgot it was 10 points. It's like that's so many points. Great, love it.
This is the capital of Sierra Leone.
Pass.
Raeanne.
Pass.
Pass.
Okay, I'm sorry. All of you were incorrect. The correct answer is Freetown. And now the action moves on to Raeanne. What category would you like?
I'll go with ancient lit.
This Homeric epic is about a guy spending 10 years trying to get home from the Trojan War.
Odyssey?
That's correct.
It was supposed to sink. Close enough.
Antigone is the 3rd play in a series that focuses on this Theban who saw his mom naked.
Oedipus?
That's correct.
Nice.
This playwright was the author of the satirical play The Clouds, a lampoon of Socrates that may have contributed to his execution.
Pass.
Sean.
Pass.
Jason.
Euripides?
I'm sorry, the correct answer was Aristophanes. And now the action moves on to Jason. No, it moves on to Sean. The action moves on to Sean.
I'm okay with taking the lead again. That's fine.
All right. Dead white guys?
Oh, the perennial favorite category on this show, dead white guys. In 1777, this Philadelphia scientist and writer became the U.S. Minister to France.
I'm going to pass this one.
Jason.
Benjamin Franklin?
That's correct. This man was a leader of the French resistance and later became president of France.
Pass.
Jason.
Pass.
Raeanne.
Also pass.
I'm sorry, Charles de Gaulle.
I made the right choice.
This artist painted iconic images of Americans sharing sodas and playing ball for the Saturday Evening Post and Boy's Life.
Norman Rockwell?
That's correct, Jason. Interesting fact, the Boy Scouts recently sold their collection of Norman Rockwell paintings. And let's see, it is back to Jason, is it not, John? 3 categories down, 6 to go.
Let's go with Crossing the Bar.
Okay. Crossing the bar, as you might know, when you're at a bar and you order a drink, the drink passes from the bartender's side to the customer's side. So each of these categories will be about potent potables. This is the potent potable contained in a Bloody Mary.
Vodka?
That's correct. This beer was first brewed by Adolphus Busch in 1876.
Budweiser.
That's correct. This cocktail combines gin, triple sec, and lime juice.
Mojito?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. I believe mojito contains rum. Raeanne.
Pass.
Sean.
Pass.
Okay, the correct answer is a white lady. Okay, with 4 categories in, the scores are Jason has 42 points. Raeanne still very much alive with 15 points. Sean, -1. Raeanne, you have the board.
All right. I'm gonna go with words that end in ate or ate.
This negatively charged word means to abominate. Used with speech or violence, it refers to bigotry.
Pass.
Sean.
I have to pass this one.
Jason.
Hate.
Hate. That's correct. H-A-T-E. Don't overthink these. Some of these questions are easier than others, particularly the 5-point question. This is the term for determining all endings of a verb with regard to subject and case.
Negate. Or sorry, conjugate. My goodness.
Okay, we'll give that one to you.
My
You
brain
get one more.
and mouth thought 2 different things.
Oh, this one's a fun one. This means to throw out of a window. It famously happened in Prague in 1419.
Defenestrate.
Defenestrate is correct.
Yeah.
Hey, the remaining categories left are number 2s who aren't Derek Jeter, The Amazing Race, Virginia is for Outsmart Charles contestants, and Devil Wagons. Sean?
Number 2s who aren't Derek Jeter.
Alrighty, number 2s who aren't Derek Jeter. He was both the first American vice president and the second American president.
John Adams.
That's correct. You finally got one.
Yay.
This is the second element of the
Sorry, jump the gun.
This is the second element of the periodic table.
Pass.
Jason.
Helium?
Helium is correct. Here's a little trickier one. This horse ran second to Affirmed in the 1978 Kentucky Derby, the 1978 Preakness, and the 1978 Belmont.
Give me a pass.
Jason?
Seabiscuit.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Seabiscuit was much older.
Pass.
Raeanne, did you pass?
I did pass. Pass
Okay.
hard.
The correct answer was Aladar. Aladar, the only horse that ever ran second in all 3 legs of the Triple Crown.
But like a 1.5 crown they get for that?
Okay, right now, Jason in the lead with 56. Raeanne has 4 points. Sean sleepwalking for the first 6 categories with 4 points.
I have 40 points.
Yes, you have 40 points. Sean has 4 points. When we come back, it's still anybody's game as the points are doubled after this quick message.
Don't leave now. There's more trivia coming up. Help us grow the show by subscribing to Outsmart Charles on YouTube.
My name's Jason. I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Which part of LA?
I currently live like just south of Koreatown, but I've been living in various parts of Los Angeles for the last 11 years or so. Originally from Ohio. So that's a very, very different place. Not so much the exciting landscapes of California, a lot more rolling hills and farmland.
Oh, that's cool. My piano teacher was from Ohio.
I took up skating during the pandemic. I haven't skated in quite a while because it's been raining. And I have
skating or inline skating or
roller
ice skating?
Roller skating. And I have a weenie dog named Noodle.
Oh,
And he's
I like
14.
dogs. It's got some endurance.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
My name is Sean. I live in Westminster, California, and I have a cat who's about 3 feet behind me.
Oh, hi,
Gracie.
Kitty. Anyway, welcome back to Outsmart Charles. Once again, let's take a look at those scores. Jason, you're in the lead with 56 points, 16 ahead of Raeanne, and a whole buttload ahead of Sean. Where do you want to go next? Friendly reminder that all point values from here on out are doubled. The remaining categories are The Amazing Race, Virginia is for Outsmart Charles contestants, and Devil Wagons.
Let's go with Devil Wagons, Charles.
In 1908, the Ford Motor Company introduced this iconic car.
The Model T?
That's correct. Little Deuce Coupe is a song by this surf rock group.
The Beach Boys?
That's correct. Jeep moniker is all that remains of this 1970s car conglomerate once headed by George Romney.
Eagle?
I don't think we can accept that, John. Raeanne,
Pass.
John, you should try to, why don't you guess something? You need the
Cherokee?
points. I'm sorry, everybody was incorrect. The correct answer was American Motors, headed by George Romney, who, yes, in case you're wondering, that was Mitt Romney's father. Well, Sean, it looks like you're in the Mudsinger seat.
Well, you know, I came in to this game with the goal of getting one question right, and I did that. So I'm feeling pretty upbeat right now. Let's be honest.
Let me see if I can get Sean to get back to the negative points by the end of the game. Okay, Raeanne, your categories are Amazing Race and Virginia is for Outsmart Charles contestants.
Well, I guess I'll go with The Amazing Race just because I wanted to say it that way. I know nothing about either of those two things.
Okay, all questions in this category will concern demography. This is the most common ethnicity in El Paso County, Texas.
What is an ethnicity? Is Hispanic an ethnicity?
Be more specific. Give her
Mexican
more time.
American?
Mexican American is correct. This is the most common ethnicity in Franklin County, Idaho. And no, the answer is not potatoes.
Caucasian. Is that
Be more
a-
specific.
White. I don't know what.
Be more specific.
Irish.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Sean.
German American?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Russian?
I'm sorry, the correct answer was English. Okay, Raeanne, you got one more. Outside of Greece, this city has more Greeks than anywhere else.
Pass.
Okay, Sean.
New York?
I'm sorry, incorrect. Jason.
San Francisco.
I'm sorry, believe it or not, the city with the most Greeks, more Greeks than anywhere else, is Melbourne, Australia. Australia competes with the United States to have the largest number of expatriate Greeks. There are large populations in many Australian cities. Sean, that leaves you with 1 point and 3 chances to get down to 0 or negative in Virginia is for Outsmart Charles contestants.
Believe in you, Sean.
Name 2 presidents of the United States that were born in Virginia. Come on, Sean, this is an easy one.
Pass.
Jason.
George Washington and Thomas Jefferson?
That's correct. We would have also accepted James Madison, James Monroe, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, Zachary Taylor, or Woodrow Wilson. Sean. Along with the University of Virginia, this presidential mansion has been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Might help if you knew who founded the University of Virginia.
I don't know that one.
Jason.
Monticello.
Monticello is correct. This colonial city, midway between Jamestown and Yorktown, served as Virginia's capital for much of the 18th century. John.
Pass. That's my 1 point. I'm sorry.
Jason.
Pass.
Raeanne.
Also pass.
Correct answer was Williamsburg. Anybody ever been to Colonial Williamsburg? I went to Colonial Williamsburg a few days after I went to Monticello.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Probably.
Probably what I did in elementary school, yeah.
Up next, I'll take on Jason and see if he has what it takes to outsmart Charles.
I'll take that hat.
Want access to ad-free episodes and an exclusive after-show podcast? Become a supporter at patreon.com/outsmartcharles.
It's time to outsmart Charles. I've asked each of our competitors for 5 categories to be quizzed on. Of those, I've picked 2 for Charles and 3 for Jason. Either of you can choose from the following categories. U.S. Vice Presidential Winners and Losers. Most things to do with the NBA. U.S. Presidents. Dinosaurs. And X-Men. Charles, you have choice.
Okay, I'll take Vice presidential winners and losers.
This man served as vice president for 31 days.
I know this one. It's John Tyler, because Harrison only served as president for 31 days.
Good sound logic and reasoning there, Charles. Next question. The first vice presidential loser shares a name with the founder of Parliament Funkadelic and later served as VP.
Okay, the first vice presidential loser. Let's see. I think that was George Clinton.
That is correct. I don't think he played the saxophone.
I don't think
But
the
I don't know.
saxophone had been invented yet.
This losing running mate of Thomas Jefferson has a difficult name to say with a mouth full of peanut butter.
Losing running mate of Thomas Jefferson. Let's see, did he? Let's see, in 1796, his running mate was Aaron Burr, wasn't it?
That is correct. I'll give that to you because the timers, I'll get the timers working later on that.
Wait,
I was about to call time.
I thought they didn't have running mates at that time. There was the runner-up that became vice president.
You know what?
Something
The
like
answer
that.
is still correct. On
Is
to
is the thing about peanut butter a quote from Hamilton?
No,
no. Jason, do you know what it's from?
no, I don't.
Oh, it's from a Got Milk commercial. It's from the 90s Got Milk commercial. Which was directed by I don't think this is an answer in a future question. Michael Bay. Michael Bay directed that commercial.
What?
Yep.
I mean, I guess
this
like, you gotta-
This guy's eating a peanut butter sandwich. He's listening to the radio. He's got all this Aaron Burr memorabilia all around him.
Oh, I have seen that commercial a long time ago.
Hamilton. Yeah, he's got Hamilton memorabilia, Aaron Burr stuff, and they randomly call one person to see if they can get the question right. And they said, "Who shot Alexander Hamilton?" And he gets the phone answer, and he says, "Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr." Sorry, we'll have to go on to the next caller. Oh, so sad. All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
On to the 20-point question. She was the first vice presidential nominee for a major party.
Geraldine Ferraro in 1984.
Ding ding. And to close out the round, this representative from Kentucky lost his vice presidential election after serving as second in command to Zachary Tyler in the Battle of Monterey.
Is that William Orlando Butler?
And this is what happens when I write questions about categories that Charles knows better than I do. Gets them all right. Good job, Charles. Control is going to move over to Jason as I pull up those categories. And remember to turn that off.
Let's
Jason.
go with X-Men, please.
X-Men, an excellent choice. The X-Men were created by this iconic Marvel duo.
Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
That is correct. This Smart Mouth Mutants titular movie is the second highest grossing R-rated movie in the US behind The Passion of the Christ.
Deadpool.
Dead right.
I think I'll just take a nap while he gets all these right.
Deadpool's also not actually a mutant.
Oh, you're correct. You'd get a bonus point for that, but for correcting the Game Master, you also get a negative point, so they kind of cancel each other out. If you thought that question was incorrect, wait till you see the next one.
What's gonna happen?
In 2015, the X-Men faced a threat of the Terrigen Cloud, a substance deadly to mutants, but it gives this group of heroes their powers.
The Inhumans.
Bing! You know your X-Men and X-Men related characters. moving on to the 20-point question. The original X-Men team was comprised of which 5 mutants? As I pull up my correct answers here. Oh wait, that's the wrong answer. There we go. All right.
Angel, Beast, Marvel Girl, Cyclops, and Iceman.
Bing, you got those all right there. I was hoping you'd get one of them wrong, and then Charles would get to steal, and he'd only have to come up with one more, but he'd have to know which one you got wrong. So, all right. Final question here. Let's see if you can tie it up with Charles. Many draw connections between the struggles of mutants and the LGBT community. Which X-Men character had the first same-sex wedding in mainstream comics in 2012?
That was North Star.
Bing! Clean sweep of the category. Good job, Jason. You did it. Charles, it's all tied up. You've got control. Just to remind you, you've got 2 categories left to play. So this is your last pick of categories, Charles.
I'll take
let me put
most
them up so
things
then it's
to do
easier.
with the NBA.
This UCLA alumnus holds the record for most points scored in a career.
Oh, that's an easy one. That is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or Lou Alcindor.
Bing. Good job. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was known for this trademark shot.
This is so ironic because as we're doing this, I'm preparing for a debate with somebody about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Wilt Chamberlain. It's the skyhook.
Just in time before the buzzer was about to go off on you there. The term skyhook was coined by Eddie Duchette, radio announcer for this team Abdul-Jabbar was playing for at the time.
Probably the Milwaukee Bucks.
Ding. Let's see if you can get one of these wrong so that Jason has a chance to steal on here. In what 2 years did the Milwaukee Bucks win the NBA championship?
1971 and 2021.
That is correct. All right, here we go. This is for all of your money. Did I mention we're playing for your money? What 2 Milwaukee Bucks players were named MVP in 2021 and 1971?
Yeah, I suspected. I kind of knew that you were. Wait a minute. Regular season MVP or finals MVP? Your answers
Finals.
presumably are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Giannis Antetokounmpo, but the question should read Finals MVP, not regular season MVP.
Thank you
So
for
I'm
not
just
passing
gonna-
any of those, because I would not have gotten a single one. I was hoping you'd at least slip up on this question, and like I could have guessed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just in question context for 1971, but outside of that, nothing.
I mean, it's easy. I mean, Giannis is a big deal right now. He won the MVP in 2019 and 2020, and the Finals MVP in 2021.
Jason, 2 categories left to choose from: U.S. presidents or dinosaurs.
I'm gonna go with Dinosaurs then.
All right, dinosaurs, a strong choice,
None
especially
of the
because it's
categories that Charles had picked were something I was gonna pick up any points in. So, well, I guess I could have gotten some points out of vice presidents, but I don't think I could have forced Charles into my categories.
so a good choice of dinosaurs, as it is likely the category of the 2 that I have more not perfect information on. But see if you can guess what I was thinking of in these.
All right.
The term dinosaur is derived from the Greek dinosaurus. What does that roughly translate to in English?
Thunder lizard.
That is an acceptable answer. This disputed genus of dinosaur translates to thunder lizard and was the basis for the 1914 animation Gertie the Dinosaur and the mascot for Sinclair Oil. Maybe I shouldn't have given you correct points for the last answer, but we'll see how it goes here.
Brontosaurus?
That is correct.
Which is sometimes thought of as an apatosaurus.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot to do with that one. And that's why it's a disputed genus there. And I didn't want to get too much into that, so I just decided to go with that for the question. Aside from birds, most dinosaurs lived during what 3 geologic periods?
Cretaceous period, Jurassic period, Cretaceous period?
Those are not quite the 3 we were looking for. Charles, let's see if you can steal this one.
Is it the Jurassic, the Triassic, and the Cretaceous?
That is what we're looking for there. They may have lived during others as well. That was the majority of dinosaurs found seem to live during those 3. All right, back to Jason for the 4th question in this round. Discovered in Tanzania between 1907 and 1912, this is the tallest and heaviest dinosaur known from skeletal records.
Titanosaur?
No, that is not what we're looking for here. Charles, let's see if you can steal that one again.
I don't think I'll be able to steal. I'm going to guess that it's a Brachiosaurus, but that's probably incorrect.
That is the answer we have that we're looking for here, also known as Giraffatitan branchi, however you pronounce that. Yeah, that is correct. Another good steal there, Charles. Back to Jason for the last question here. With a length of only 5 centimeters and still alive today, what is the smallest known dinosaur?
Pass? A horseshoe crab?
No points for wrong answers, so I'll accept your wrong guess of horseshoe crab. Charles, your chance to steal. Smallest dinosaur still alive today.
Dinosaurs still alive today, and about as long as my index finger. Is it? I don't know. Is it a gecko?
According to random sources on the internet, the correct answer is a bee hummingbird, also known as Zunzuncito or Helena hummingbird. That's right. Birds, dinosaurs. Apparently this one can be traced back to its ancestral dinosaurs. It's terrifying, it's 5 centimeters tall, and it will kill you.
Well, Jason, I'm sorry, you have not outsmarted Charles Bennett. Bunch of points in the last round. You're the current leader in the leaderboard of this season of Outsmart Charles. And tune in next week when we have 3 new contestants on another fun episode of Outsmart Charles.
Thank you.